I'm going to break the shackles that for so long had bound me to the lost souls in the ghetto.
Can't be on the same page when we in two totally different chapters.
So how many times we gonna watch our brothers perish?
They're already killing us.
Because you're poison.
I am whatever you want me to be. Do you really think I asked to be like this?
Please live it end.
I'm sorry for the pain I've dealt.
This isn't my fault, but something is off.
I am a human being. How did I get here?
Or how do I jug a knife against your skin? Find parasites.
When I say CC, you say P. CC. CC. When I say drop the, you say Mike. Drop the. Drop the. When I say I love, you say poetry. I love. Poetry. I love. Poetry. Give it up for Drop the Mic. Let's get it started.
What's up, CCP? How y'all feeling today? So happy to hear that, and welcome to audition day 2 of season 4 of Drop the Mic. We are 3-time Emmy nominated. Please give it up to us for being 3-time Emmy nominated. And that is a testament to the power of our students' poetry. And we have a whole new lineup of poets for you all today. We're very, very excited. We have 12 students who will be gracing the stage and blessing the mic. And there are a certain number of rules that they have to follow when they come up to the stage. The first rule is that they have a time limit. There is 3 minutes and 15 seconds that they will have to perform their poem. If they go over 3 minutes and 15 seconds, their final scores will be penalized, and the judges will deduct a half point off for each second that they go over, okay? And I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Michelle Myers, and I'm associate professor here in the English department at Community College of Philadelphia, and I'm the host of Drop the Mic. And then I'd also like to introduce you to our judges, who will be making all the decisions about who the poets will be, who will move on to our final showcase next week. And so starting with the judge who is closest to the audience, we have Kevin Covington. Please put your hands together for Kevin Covington. He is a support coach in the Center for Male Engagement here at Community College of Philadelphia. And next to Kevin, we have Elizabeth Catanese. Please make some noise for Elizabeth. She is an assistant professor in the English department here at Community College of Philadelphia. And next to Elizabeth, we have Alicia Dantzler. Please make some noise for Alicia. She is a graduate of Community College of Philadelphia. Please give it up for being a graduate, but she also has her bachelor's degree and is also going to be going to grad school to get her master's degree. So please make a lot of noise for that, for getting education, getting your degrees, because that's what you're all striving towards, right? And then today we have a very special guest judge, our usual judge, DeForio Barlow, who is a testing specialist, and the assessment center couldn't be here today. So we have a special guest judge sitting in for DeForio. This is Black Cancer. Please put your hands together for Black Cancer. He's been on several seasons of Drop the Mic, but for season 3, he was our 3rd place winner in season 3. And he's also a graduate of Community College of Philadelphia. So make some noise. We have 2 graduates on our judges panel. So y'all ready to hear some poetry? Please say yeah. Yeah. So happy to hear that. Please keep that energy up. If you hear lines that you like, please snap or clap or respond back to our poets. So without further ado, I'm just going to let you know that the poet on deck is Gajet. But coming to the mic, we have Anissa.
Well, the poem in essence is about a creature or a monster, if you will, that's sitting on a woman's windowsill or a person's windowsill, doesn't have to be the woman, during a lightning storm, and is trying to inveigle with it's trying to inveigle with the person to allow it to come through the window and to teach it everything about the cosmos that is available. This is called incantations too. This energy could skin the sky with a spit Dosti sea, the ionic field summoned from the sinus of energy, cracked and shift and split and rick the black sky incandescent lit with the ionic script of lightning. Allow me to take shelter within your form's cathedral tonight, and I can sleep there as your reciprocal. I am a monster only when in flight, but a homunculi within my pitcherful. And to thy I am art, and thy art my beloved. Beloved, halo the variant of a sentient. I treasure you to the odyssey of time's descent into the maelstrom of the river where Icarus would spent destroy us. Frigid, stick, anemic one, strict dumb by the fire, hum ye hymn to dim the numb cast of your desire. Teach I how to play your voice as a lute, and thy soul as a lyre, if I could. The smell of iron like thy blood strings as incense to the basilica. of your sentience, frankincense, with the soul ordained in golden mum and a ring akin to the laurel one. Okay. Likely centerless chrysanthemum, a relic of ancient times, your aura, Byzantium, word salubrious, spelled from the tongue of a leech, oratorios, glorious inditing scripture rapture in the form of melodic hymns, and words molded into the stature of ballads. Heat through off the night igniting, arterial structures akin to lightning. That is how I feel when they speak. Old patrons of the doomed house Atreus hunch in the corners of time and space and such, etch contemplations on the emptiness. This whereof you and I belong not. Leapt thy rivers of molten hot. Gotta love this. Leapt thy rivers of molten hot, gluttony of passion, madness wrought, plights across my perception, gullibility to deception, but I crept by them all, to attend your side for the sake of us. All I ask in return is thy fatty arterial blood, thick fruit at the peak of tendon streaks of woodlands, whereof Eve beseeched the Ophidius for thy tender peach of a heart, and ruby worms that dig beneath. Lo, I love thee enough to wish to devour thee, but hide away first in your memory, and learn of the things that thou doth lend to me. And that's the end of this one. There's something, like I said, I've never done this before. I'm honestly very nervous, but I'm happy I shared it.
You did a great job. Everyone, one more time for Anissa.
I have to go to class.
So Kevin, do you have some feedback for Anissa?
Yeah, it's never easy being that first one up, no matter what, so congratulations.
So awkward.
It's all right. It's all right. I really like the imagery of your work and the use of Icarus. I like when Greek mythology kind of finds its way in. So really, really nice piece. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
It had the feel of an epic poem to me. I really liked that. I could imagine someone sitting around by a fire listening to it, and all of the rhythms were really powerful within the piece, and the rhymes as well.
Thanks.
Alicia.
Well, congratulations on your first time. And then I just want to say, try to find a way to work through your nerves and enunciate a little better, because I wanted to hear more of the piece. It sounds like a really dope piece, like a written piece is amazing, but I wanted to hear every element within a piece.
Thank you. And Black Cancer.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start off with the lines. I think you had a rhyming pattern. It was script to rip or something like that. Okay, that's one. Peach of a Heart, I caught that before. That was nice. As far as critiques, look up more from time to time to maintain connection with the audience. Don't make mistakes apparent, so you know your poem, they don't know it. Even what's old to you is new to them, so don't worry about a fumble. If anything, just recover and spit your poem, and just be patient. Pace your words out, take your time. Just breathe a little bit, be easy, and the next time you come up, when you approach them, try to connect far as energy, and you'll be fine. I like your poem, though.
Yeah, sure. At least it's not like sitting in a book anymore. That's all I really cared about, was being able to just share it instead of it rotting there.
Great.
But, thank you.
You're welcome.
You did a great job. Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Anissa. So the poet on deck is Psychology, and coming to the mic, we have Gadget. Please, make some noise for Gadget.
It's about mania and how the DSM defines mania in a very short paragraph as euphoria, and how people who don't go through mania have no idea how inaccurate that is.
Cricket lipstick. Mania, your interactive guide. My breakfast never varies. The taste of death sticks and hyperactivity lingers on my teeth. They cling to me, trying to increase my likelihood of survival of this chosen disease. But something is off. You didn't pick this on your sickness bed. I can feel my teeth falling. I can feel my skin shriveling for the warmth of my bones coming closer, like that fan that's been there just a little too long, so I quickly draw the curtains and pretend I had something to eat earlier in the day they're trying to poison. Shut the door, hide away, jug a knife against your skin. Find parasites in the air, pray to your G-D that you feel something in your throat that you own, that keeps soil, keep like your penny jar. It was supposed to be for municipal change, but you kept picking out the silver things. Spent them on coffee you don't need because you were born in star sign hyperactivity. But your son is like millions of miles in the distance, and still there are duller ones that duller people pretend to be further off, like that fan that's been there just a little too long, and you're convinced. The whole world shifted into a new dimension, accidentally sweeping you along, changing your memories. Besides everyone you ever loved, like, was that band red just a second ago? My breakfast never varies. It's always been the same. Omelets made from frozen eggs and the meat of man you just finished killing.
Put your hands together one more time for Gadget. Elizabeth, you have some feedback?
You always do such a good job of inhabiting personas and making us feel what it's like inside of different people. I really appreciated your poem.
Thank you. Alicia?
I always like your energy when you come to stage because you tackle different topics within your poetry, but yet you still bring a dynamic energy every time you step on stage, so I can always appreciate that.
Thank you. Black Cancer?
I like the poem. It was interesting. I like what you have on your images. I like the image. It was a fast pace when you were spitting your lyrics, so slow it down a little bit if you wish. That was my only critique. Other than that, I like the poem.
Thank you. And Kevin?
Welcome back to the stage. Just like it was said before, I love your energy on the stage and doing your piece. And you get so caught up, not you, but as an audience, we get so caught up in your performance, because even when you talked about in your piece with the fan that was over there, I happened to look over knowing that you were just in the performance, but it's like, wow, this is how much I'm into this poem. So welcome back. And it seemed like you're a little more comfortable this time around too. Well, you look like
a fast-paced poem to start it off, so.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. Welcome to round one.
Get the jitters out, right? Yeah, great job. Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Gadget. Thank you so much. So the poet on deck is Nick, and coming to the mic we have Psychology.
Well, it's like so much going on inside of me. It's like when I get to release them words and such an impact of definitions, you know, and combining them together and making them rhyme, it just feels as though I do something, like I crush that mental stability inside of myself that's holding me back. So it gives me the strength to keep carrying on.
Yo, Nicolas Cage bars, mind stating statements, escape a dramatic plays. Trait stamina increase, reading the dawns, running stocks at the raise. Uphill achieving older facts, quick ahead, the conclusion, pursuing this is happiness. Condition help for the days in the gray. Prepared staying, not a game. No mask, poker face, traditional tame. Manly, manning up, outlook brave, broken chains. Educated slavery, a warrior's bravery. Made ways past towards freedom, being a mentally, courageously contained the intelligence stored in my brain. Is your life contain types of all gonna see insights from the prolonged performing visions, pivots in life, lives, love and love. Stripes combining of light, equal ignite, saying together we corporate manufacturing forces, corporates to Navy navigation alike. Corporal, accurate, editorial, steadily local, calling bone, throwing dog walkers, gnawing, heavily manifested maniac progress in my dome. Ready very precisely, heaven's title. I'm looking, keep the degree to practice actions in my performance. The numbers of jewels, schools, schedules, learning well and won't fall. Point of power moves. Continuous ambition, envelope going by the book, miraculously statistics. Yeah.
One more time for Psychology. Alicia, do you have some feedback?
I like the fact that you said it's your first time blessing the stage, but like you were so comfortable doing it, as well as trying to engage the audience as well with your energy. And I also like the alliteration that you had throughout. I really appreciated how that worked with your flow. So good job.
Thanks a lot.
Black Cancer.
I definitely like the poem. I like the lines like broken change, educated slaves, maniac process in my dome or something like that. I try to catch everything. You gotta. It was a good pace. I like the pace. It was good animation with your hands, and I like the image as well. So good job.
Kevin.
God, it was my turn. Yeah, didn't look like your first time. Looking really confident. Really liked the piece. I would just say, just kind of watch not the tone, but the pace a little bit. You know what you're performing. We're trying to catch up to line 5 when you're already on line 14, and we're like, oh, wait, what was that? But really good piece, man.
And Elizabeth.
I agree with Kevin. I think Black Cancer got more lines than I did in terms of incorporating them. That was awesome. I think that there's a lot going on in terms of social commentary, and then also how the mind interacts with that. And I think that what you're saying is extremely powerful. So maybe even if not slowing down, pausing for a moment and letting us incorporate and then going, or saying the sound in the middle or something to give us a chance to catch up. Great work.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for psychology. So the poet on deck is Gage De Leon, but coming to the mic now, we have Nick. Please, put your hands together for Nick.
I just have a lot on my mind, so just to really get my message out and just get my voice heard.
This is a poem I wrote called An Attempted Assassination. Black like ash or black like tar and mud. Big lipped monkeys, animalistic creatures attaining subhuman qualities. Brown like copper, but richer than oil. Richer than soil, you triumph and conquer in every way. Black pride came after you exposed the white lies that the world fed you, torn apart from your foundation, then forced to die on a plantation. But now you laid a fork and knife down at your own table. You have now retaken the throne of your empire. If blackness equals wealth, then you couldn't be any richer. You broke the chains that once constricted you. You fight constant battles, endure daily hells. Still, you revive like a phoenix. You are the original king that owned Egypt. Rich white men stole you from your family, yet they demonize you. Still today portrayed as a thug on the news, but you turned it around and made this your muse. You are the artist. You are the beloved culture America capitalizes off of. You are the warrior, the father, the lover. You are the philosopher, the healer, the ruler, and rule breaker. Society has attempted to assassinate your character. It did not succeed. You are the gods that the world envies. Emerald-eyed assassins wish they possessed your glow, your flow, your swag. You possess all the qualities one can only dream to have. To be a black man in America, it's one of the hardest things to be. You are feared and envied. You are loved but hated, often spiritually castrated, but you grew it back and became elevated like a tree that touches the sky. You are the roots of history. You planted the seeds to make this be. They can never get rid of you, no matter how hard they try, because you are me. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Nick, everyone. Black Cancer, do you have some feedback?
Yes, I'm very big on pace. I like the pace with this one. You read it. I love the pace and how you read it. In the mild conviction, it was very settled, but you still got your point across. You enunciated. I like the lines, brown like copper, but richer than oil, endure daily hells, roots of, I forgot what you said, but it was like planted the seeds or something like that. That line particularly I like. So good job.
Kevin.
It was a really good piece. It seems like you got really, really comfortable as it went on. I like the initial part you were trying to get over your nerves, but I like the fact that even though you're reading it from a piece of paper, you still thought to look up and connect with the audience, and then you could see you kind of hit it in second gear and got really comfortable. So yeah, good piece.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
I really like this one a lot. I loved all of the paradoxes, the loved and hated, ruler, rule breaker, and then those moments where you just gave simple, direct lines that were not about metaphor or paradox. I thought that it was really a beautiful piece and a great performance.
Thank you. And Alicia?
I really like the way you started your piece off, and you kind of started off painting a picture, and you carried that throughout, like with your words, you carried that throughout the piece, as well as just pacing it so well so you catch everything, and you did a great job of enunciating, but also reading, but still being present.
Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Nick. So the poet on deck is Monty, and coming to the mic, we have Gage De Leon. Please make some noise for Gage.
I perform spoken word because many people feel powerless, but their voices can give them tons of meaning, which they don't understand yet.
Hello.
So this poem has no name, but hopefully you enjoy it. At the young age of 6, never wanted to hit, never wanted to pacifist, chose to be a pacifist. Talking about peace was more of a delight. However, some people thought that it wasn't in the right light. As they punched and stomped, crying seemed to only antagonize, screaming and cheering for this kid's demise, crying on the inside, words in his head, screaming, please let it end, in a word, wishing for him to be dead. Screaming for mommy, but the pain keeps on coming, begging and pleading, but that doesn't stop the bleeding, doesn't say a word, keeps it all inside. Hopefully this doesn't lead to an eventual suicide. Feeling ashamed, something happened in his brain. Words that were contained could no longer be refrained. Crap. He wrote out his feelings. He had enough of the beatings. He is sick of retreating. Had a voice that gave him meaning. With his remaining lifespan, with a pencil at hand, marked his land. With his silence now banned. Fears are, after all, just weakness leaving the body. Let it dominate, you'll be nothing but a zombie. Lifeless, soulless, just another drone following along to a noteless song, just another part of the echelon. Let these words swarm like a heavy, ready storm, giving them meaning in no way that's the meaning. Using a voice to light the night until it wins the fight. Let it ignite the might it takes to write. He is silent no longer, dreams to go farther, making words stronger, exposing himself with no armor. Hopefully, his name will have a good memory, an interesting summary, a nice setting. Hopefully, he will write until his fingers bleed, and hopefully, people think it will be an exciting read.
Give it up one more time for Gage. Kevin, do you have some feedback?
Yeah, you can always tell when someone gets really comfortable with their piece and they start to go on with it, and it seems like you get really comfortable with it. I would just say just kind of mind your pace, because you know the work, like Black Cancer said earlier before to another poet, you know the piece, but it's our first time hearing it, so maybe interjecting some pauses in there. I don't want to disrupt the flow of it, because actually when you're saying this, it actually kind of sounds like you could actually put this to music. But you don't want to lose anything. Every word is really, really important because it ties into the next one and then the previous one. So make sure that pace is really important.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
I really enjoyed the themes in this poem, the idea of the importance of vulnerability and pacifism, and the idea of using one's voice instead of resorting to violence. So I think the content of the poem was fantastic.
Thank you. Alicia.
As Kevin said, just about pacing and using like those pauses are it could be very useful with this piece, because you have some times where you'll get really, really fast and then you'll slow down. So I think like finding a pause would like bridge that gap a little better. And then also just make sure when you feel like a little nervous, use that to push, like the adrenaline to push you through your piece so you get through it. And if you're going to read, commit to the page.
Thank you. And Black Cancer.
I like the content. I like the lines. I think you started off like pacifist, and then I forgot exactly what you said. It was pacifist, and what did he say? I like the line, basically. The A and B rhyme scheme, this is your stage, so own it, is my critique to you. You know what I mean? Enjoy yourself, but at the same time, own that space. You can move around a little bit. That's to all poets. And like I said, I like the rhyme scheme. You gave life, so good job.
Thank you, judges. Please make some noise one more time for Gage. So after our next poet, we're going to have our feature poet. We're really excited to have Ills Wills here with us today. Please make some noise for Ills Wills, who'll be coming on in just a few minutes. But coming to the mic right now, we have Monty. Please put your hands together for Monty.
I speak spoken word just because it's fun. I write, people say I write good, I should get it out there, so I got it out there.
I'm a little nervous, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna do something a little different. I was gonna perform a piece that I already knew off the top of the bat, but it's some people that said I wrote this poem and it's kind of they said it's too intense. I don't really care, I kind of want to see what y'all think about it. Fuck black people. Yeah, I said it. Y'all would rather sit around and talk all day about a whole situation than dead it.
Now that shit, I don't get it at all. Y'all always halfway rise and then fall. Quick to put somebody else on blast, but let's talk about you, and it's, oh, we'll just leave the past in the past. So you could talk about this hoe all day, but we can't talk about how you the real hoe. Like how you let another man make you clean his field with no steel toe, and when you got thirsty, you tried to drink some of his water. He was like, chill, bro. You said, brother, I'm just trying to stand up for myself. And he was like, hell no. At one point, you even tried to turn into him. And he was like, no, yo, you good. You straight, right where you are. And that's on a bus or in a 12-year-old car. I used to sympathize and listen when black people complain. Now I don't care no more. Now I don't care to listen no more because it all sounds the same like that sound Sean made in the bathroom on Soul Plane. The sound of nagging just really drives me insane. Okay, I get it. So what? You want some shit. Somehow, some way, you did it. Now that you got this problem, okay, how you gonna fix it? Hold your head down, be patient, and stick with it. You'll know when you're doing right. Trust me, people are self-proclaimed critics. And if it's what you really want, you're gonna get it. And it's about right there where I start losing them and they start slipping, tripping, going on about how they can't get this and don't know how to do that. Bitching, you know, always bitching. Scary asses, always afraid. And that's it. They're so afraid to grow up. Did I do it? Yup. Was it easy? Fuck, no it wasn't. It sucked. Growing up was tough. And to be quite honest, I'm still growing up. Yup. At least I'm going after what's mine instead of feeling like it's old. They took your shit and ain't giving it back. Didn't you listen to what OJ told? You think they just gonna give you something? You bold. Man, that way of thinking is old. Black people want black businesses, but there are no black businesses because black people don't support black businesses. I didn't make that up. Black people want black businesses, but there are no black businesses because black people don't support black businesses. Black businessmen with no black businesses. Where are you supposed to conduct business then? Right now, it seems to me that nigga doesn't mean ignorant. Nigga means hypocrite. And I'm sick of it. Want to complain about all the shit you ain't got, but ain't willing to wash a dish for it. You insane if you think something's going to happen just because you wish for it. The oppressees are tired of being oppressed, so they go to the oppressors asking them to stop oppressing. The oppressors heard the oppressees and questioned if they should stop oppressing the oppressed. The oppressed waited patiently for the oppressing to stop, but the oppressor realized how much he needs the oppressee. So the oppressing never stops. The oppressee flops. The oppressed eventually drops right back in line for the oppressor, which is right under the cops. Waiting on the one that slaved you to save you. Speaking of cops, I'm not going to talk about how they treated people through the years, but what really brings me to tears is to see that I have a 7% chance of getting killed by them, but a 93% chance of being killed by me. I have a 93% chance of walking in the street on my way to get something to eat to be blown away by a nigga just because I'm clean and I got fresh sneaks. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives don't matter. Black lives matter to black people when sentence read, black man gets killed by a cracker. Black lives do not matter. Y'all talk about who killed who like the shit is just regular chatter. Gotta get killed by a white person to say that my life mattered. Man, fuck black people. We may look the same, but trust me, you not my equal.
One more time for Monty. Elizabeth, do you have some feedback?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to talking about that one with my class to get their ideas about it. Really complicated, awesome poem. I think that I like that you certainly are giving advice in the poem, but you're backing it up with specific narratives and storytelling, which I think makes the poem very strong. Good job.
Thank you. Alicia.
Yeah, you started off very intense. When I heard you start, I'm like, hold on, wait, say what now? I had like the whole Kevin Hart face. But anyway, I like that you had conviction behind what you were saying, as well as I kind of wanted some more of those parallels where you have one moment where or I want to say contrast, where you're mentioning one thing but then providing a solution. I kind of wanted to hear a little more of that, but outside of that, like, you did a good job.
Thank you. Black Cancer.
Immediately when you started, I thought you was going for shock value, because that was, you surprised me with the way that you introduced the poem. I like the lines, halfway rises, then fall, and the whole oppressor excerpt, that was clever. And then it end with mentioning the pigs, which is good. It was amusing to hear the inflections in your voices or your tones, the way you would say certain things, and that was good. It was a mature subject of observation towards the culture, and that needs to be heard without actually feeling like, without you actually targeting us, all cultures. You're talking mainly about one and what we need to do. So I like that. Good job, man.
Thank you. And Kevin?
Yeah, the piece kind of read like an editorial and like a Twitter feed that went crazy. I really like the oppressor-oppressee part of it. I would just say, just for this particular point, you gotta watch too, because your timing is really, really important. You got a lot to say in a very small amount of time. So I never want to ask someone to kind of cut a piece, but just kind of think about it in terms of making sure that your next piece kind of fits those parameters. But I think it was a really good, powerful piece.
Yeah, for the record, I kind of didn't know about the parameters until like just today. So it was just like, oops.
That's okay. That's okay. Great job. Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Monty. So poet on deck is EC, and coming to the mic we have Meek Boss. Please make some noise for Meek Boss.
Yo, this morning I couldn't decide who I wanted to be. I walked over to this closet and stood there, deciding if I should open it. Again. This closet, the one thing in my life that seemed to understand and accept me. This closet that secures every piece of me, good and bad. You see, this closet secures more than the unisex clothes I bought as a way to ease judgments from people in the world, while I portray a generic version of the person I claim that I am. And to myself, I had told myself, fuck what the world thinks, every day before heading out. Then like clockwork, I was scolded for an appearance that didn't match a birth name, that never matched the gender identity I've always claimed. And again, I found myself back in this closet, knees in my chest, blackened eyes and blood dripping from wounds, not only inflicted by the group of strangers who claimed I needed to learn my place, but from the self-inflicted razor cuts I penetrated myself. I had this silly chimera that the blood drained profusely from my body, was the pain that perforated my heart each and every time my social freedom was suppressed. And I just wanted it all out of me. You see, society felt as though what they called the sickness could be cured by prescriptions. However, no doctor could heal, no surgically remove my true self. So to keep me in control, my rights as a human were treated with proscriptions. They wanted me to disown myself and be done with life, so I was sent crawling back to this closet. This closet that shelters so much more than hangers and hampers know. This here is where my deepest desires and emotions are kept concealed in corners, my inner voice stifled by the rage of society's rants. I had begun to store so much of myself in this closet that subsides the torments of random people who want to eradicate me and people like me. Because I prefer baggy jeans over dresses, boots over heels, and my choice to love another human born of the same gender identity which I've already disassociated myself from. Castigated in a world that only views authentic love from one perspective, while people like me are left ensnared in this closet. This fucking closet where chunk pieces of our true selves are stored on shelves because they're too delicate to be exposed in this vengeful world. You see, this closet holds some of the best parts of me. Pieces of myself I stored away because I was too fragile or easily broken by the stereotypes of people who resented my very existence. But today I made the choice to collect every bit of every piece of me I left to wither. I collected it all and put me back together. No, not just for self, but I needed the strength to advocate and tear down each and every closet wall so that myself and the entire LGBTQ community would never be confined to these closets ever again. I'm Meek Boss. So I did something just to spread awareness and educate the people on the difficulties we face dealing with these things.
Alicia, do you have some feedback?
Yeah, welcome back. I like how you came to the stage this time. Like you got up there, you ready to do your thing. Like, I love the way you took the meaning of the closet and you carried it throughout the piece, as well as just how you paced yourself through the piece. I remember that was like one of the critiques we gave you in the past, and you did such a great job of just pacing yourself throughout the piece, and we caught everything. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Black Cancer.
I love the title. I like the lines. Well, first of all, I like the fact that you said you were shining light on abuse and self-abuse. Rights as a human was treated with proscriptions. I thought that was clever. You started off confident. I remember this poem, and I like that you performed it slightly different this time. And I love the journey that you took everybody on. You engaged the audience as well as the judges. I have no problems, so good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin.
Welcome back. Yo, yeah, like Alicia was saying, you really stepped up with this one. It almost feels like a round 2 performance for you. But you know, you've been through the process, you know what's going on, you feel more comfortable with it. And I like the fact that we get the general idea what the closet is, but depending on where you are in your life, that closet could mean a whole lot of other things for a lot of other people. And your pace allowed everybody to kind of think about that. Think about how you meant it, and then think about how it means it for us. So not every piece can do that, so really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Elizabeth.
This is one of the poems that distracted me from taking notes, and I think that's a good thing because I don't want to be writing anything down. I just want to listen to what you're saying. It was fantastic. I really did like the idea of talking about the closet as a place of security and acceptance, and not talking about it as immediately like, just come out of the closet, like really probing into what that closet means. It was a wonderful performance. I also liked how you gestured towards the closet each time you talked about it.
Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Please put your hands together one more time for Meek Boss. Poet on deck is Riley, and coming to the mic we have EC. Please make some noise for EC.
As the crowd is just sitting there listening to you, it's like you're basically telling your own story. For me, it's like an outlet. I can tell my story, share my story in my own comfort zone. These eyes tell a story from not long ago, a tale of a girl who lost her own soul. These eyes tell a story of true pain. These eyes tell a story from not long ago, a tale of a girl who lost her own soul. These eyes tell a story of true range, hate and anger that never seems to go away. She tries to forgive and she tries to forget, but it's hard when all she felt was neglect and regret. These eyes tell a story of true pain. They wept and they cried where they had laid. Surrounded by all these people, yet her life is still a mess. That thought alone was hard for her to digest. These eyes tell a story of lost hope. Does anyone know the number of Francis the Pope? She prayed to God, but it seems like no one is there. Will I ever get it right? It seems to be so unfair. My eyes tell a story, but it does not end here. I'm a beautiful blossoming butterfly. Take a picture, let it be your souvenir.
Give it up one more time for EC. Black Cancer, do you have some feedback?
Good pace. I like the repetition of these eyes and the different descriptions. I don't have a bad critique. They doing pretty good so far. You know what I mean? So good job. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Kevin.
As I'm drawing on Elizabeth's thing there, I really like the pace. I wanted more though. I don't give me that look. It's a good thing. When we get to this point and we're starting to hear pieces and we want more, it could be a lot different if you say, please hurry up and end it. But no, we really wanted more. You started out really well. You started to get us on that ride, and then it ended, and we were like, wow. So it's almost like a to be continued. So we'd love to hear a little more, maybe what you have to bring back for the next round. It's a good piece.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
I think there was a lot of specificity in the metaphor with the eyes, and I think what you could maybe consider doing is add some more specific details in the poem beyond that of the narrative of the speaker's life, or give us more after the turn of the poem. I loved the empowered ending, but maybe even a little bit more with that. Great job.
And Alicia.
I wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you your hair was popping and your whole appearance, so I have to get that out the way first. I love your voice, like the entire, it's so soothing. Throughout the piece, I was listening to your voice, and then every time you come back around with these eyes, you bring in like a different image that you can see through these eyes. So I really liked the way you set that up and the way you paced that throughout the piece. Even though it was short, you still got a lot. I liked it.
Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for EC.
Like, for the first time, like, me doing that, I felt like I did deliver the way I wanted to. Maybe not memorizing the words and stuff like that, but I felt like it was really good for my first time.
Please, put your hands together for Riley.
You're going to die someday. Someday I'm going to get that message that you passed on to me by my cousins or your sister, but then again, I guess who relays the message doesn't really matter. What matters is if I get it, I guess. My cousins will urge me to come to your funeral saying, it's been so long, he was your father, like that ever motivated you to come to any function I've been a part of, but then again, my mother will say she does not have much say in the matter, but I should get that closure, and I guess she knows better considering her knowledge of having a deadbeat dad die before you can properly tell him off in comparison to my own is far superior, so I will go. Though I will be alone, even if my sister decides to join me in this endeavor, she won't really be with me. She would be next to me, but dealing with it separately, despite the fact that this was a pain we shared. Sharing the same memories of broken promises and empty chairs, she will block me off like she always tends to do. But then again, that's just what she tends to do to everyone, keeping everything bottled up, but I guess we both have that in common besides you. I will be in a room full of relatives of which I do and do not know, although I never really knew them to begin with, so I will be in a room full of strangers. I don't know why I'm writing this. It's nowhere near Father's Day. Maybe it's because our birthday's on the way that despite the fact that I have not thought about you in this way in years, I am still here talking about what I'm going to do with you in the future. But then again, this isn't the first poem I've written about you. It's just this time, it isn't another expose, but really a compilation of all my emotions. But then again, this isn't the first poem about a father that wasn't there. I've heard a million of them, and I guess I could follow suit with the rest of them. Break down just how you broke me and ask you questions I know never will be answered. But then again, I already know those answers. There's no need to break it down to iambic pentameter. All I have left to say is that I pity you. I'm sorry you couldn't be any better, but then again, why am I apologizing? This isn't my fault. The fact that you couldn't step up, it's not my fault. The fact that you knocked up my mother is not my fault. The fact that this poem exists is not my fault. The fact that I'm alive is not my fault, but then again, it still feels like my fault. I will go to your funeral, but I will not be wearing all black. No, in that sea of darkness, I will be the bright light, dressed in all white, because your death for me will be freeing. I will go to your funeral, but not to mourn you. Not to see the family left behind like you did, not to be there for and with my sister. I will go to your funeral to finally say to your face, I love you, Dad. Thank you.
Give it up one more time for Riley. Kevin, do you have some feedback?
Yeah, really good piece. Still waters run deep, so I like the fact how you approached the mic. You just came right on, you went right into the piece. And even though you felt as though you may have stumbled here and there, you handled it really well. And you're able to take command, and that's what it is. It's not just about the piece, it's how you present the piece. And you still kept us on that ride, and it was really good. Even though it's a hard piece, it was a really good piece to deliver, and the way you delivered it, really good.
Elizabeth.
I was really moved by the poem and the ambivalence in the poem that felt so real, and how you were feeling every word of the poem as you were speaking it. So I was feeling it too and getting really emotional. And I think that's the mark of a fantastic poet.
Alicia.
One thing I can always appreciate about poetry, I know this for myself, like it feel like we have so many ideas swirling around in your head, trying to get it all out on page as well as the emotions that you're combating. I feel like you did a great job at doing that and organizing those thoughts and those feelings. Like you definitely can feel it through the piece and through the pain, so great job.
And Black Cancer.
I like the piece. It was a strong story, definitely a good start. I like how you started. You seemed comfortable even if you were nervous, and that's great. The pacing, I love the flow, the cadence. That was phenomenal. Your demeanor, sometimes it was interesting. Sometimes you would have animation with your arms or your hands or whatever, and then other times you would have them swing. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I'm just like evaluating your whole persona. So that was a good job, and the piece was strong.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Riley. So the poet on deck is Fiona, and coming to the mic we have Ty. Please make some noise for Ty.
That's cool. I'm a bit nervous, so bear with me. Baby, you don't have to call tonight. You told me you don't love me and went out for the night, so I guess I'll go out with the guys and go and risk my life. Act like I'm alright with you on my mind, with your words echoing through my head. I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you. But I loved you more than usual. You were too good for me. I just wanted to be cool with you, but I was a fool to you. Got me out here looking like Sabumafu. So I played this game like Yu-Gi-Oh! And duel with you. Screaming, I don't know why I deal with you, but I always lose to you. Like, I caught you with a couple of lefts, but then you hit me with a good right, because women are always right, right? But it's cool, because I already left, trying to force the idea that I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you. Trying to tell myself, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, like I'm Janae Aiko. My friends say, you'll be all right, bro. I don't know, though. I'm tired of going through the cycle like minstrel, being played like an instrumental, bearing pains emotional and mental. I'm tired of all these stupid riddles, just get to the point like pencils. What's the issue? Is it money, is it swagger? Sorry I can't change, sorry I still dress the same, sorry I'm just a nerd. Sorry I can't drive, sorry I can't sing, sorry I'm so lame. Sorry I got used to you pushing me away, sorry I stay out so late, sorry I suck at texting back, sorry I'm not sexy, sorry I'm so ugly, sorry I disappoint you, sorry my grades suck, sorry it seems like I'm just swimming around in circles, sorry someone else saw what you won't. Sorry I'm the villain, sorry I can't save a hole like you, sorry I drowned out the Eminem, sorry baby but I can't be your Superman. Sorry your mom doesn't like me, sorry I read comics instead of novels, sorry I'm an uncultured swine, sorry I'm so childish, sorry I fraud see these rub bones like a double Gambino, sorry that couldn't rhyme, sorry I got you saying I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you. And now here's the twist, I never get to tell you I don't love you, we discussed this, it's over, I disgust you, you disgust me. You're a disgusting girl, you did me dirty. Tell your friends that I was flirting around with Becky with the green hair. But Becky isn't Becky because Becky never left me. Feeling empty like a glass of lemonade on a summer's day. But if it's empty, it's not lemonade, right? Because you're sure as hell not my Beyonce. You're sure as hell not my fiance. You're sure as hell not my best friend like Dante. But one day I will tell you that I don't love you.
Give it up one more time for Ty. Elizabeth, do you have some feedback?
I love the repetition of I don't love you and how it came back differently each time, including at the end. It was a great poem. Good job.
Thank you.
Alicia.
You had so many lines, like so many lines. I kind of wish like we got more eye contact from you, as well as just like some feeling behind it. Like when you hit the Janae Aiko line, I'm like, I wanted to hear the song a little bit, get a little harmony to it. But I feel like you had so many lines. Make sure you punch those lines because you want everybody to catch everything you said.
Black Cancer.
First of all, I'm an Eminem fan, so I caught the Superman line. I can't be your Superman. I love that, John. As far as my interpretation, the story was stern, emotional, subtle. Ain't that something that you was reading off of the phone? I like that. Look up more, yes. I'm just piggybacking. And pace it out a little bit more. Come alive, like make the words stick, but make your presence stick as well, because your poem was good.
Thank you.
Nice job.
And Kevin.
Yeah, I really like the piece. Like Cancer was saying, you're reading it from a phone. It's not the first time we've seen that. But I would say there's so many points in this piece that you connect with the audience, but you don't because you're just in the phone. And there are a lot of moments, I don't know if you caught it, where a lot of people were like, yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh line, you know, it's a lot of analogies going on there, the red bone. It's a whole lot for people to feed on and get connected. And I would say when you're doing this piece again, take those as pauses and then just kind of present them a little more, because then it allow other people to really connect with it. But if it's your first time, I kind of get it. But if you're going to use the phone, just make sure you have those pauses to connect. Because throughout this, it kind of just seems like we were in your room eavesdropping instead of you performing for us. So, good piece, though.
Thanks.
Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Ty. So the poet on deck is Ebo, and coming to the mic, we have Fiona. Please, put your hands together for Fiona.
You know, I'm not like very talented in any other way, but you know, this is like an outlet for me to just express myself when I can't in any other way.
Do you think that just because of my eyes you can define my nationality? Is your personality so shallow you just assumed I came here illegally, or that I can't speak English? Are you so sheltered you can't be bothered to learn the different people of my race? Do you look at my face and create an image in your head of a pre-written story for me because you thought? Because I'm not Japanese, though. I'm surprised you can't tell. Shouldn't you know what they look like since you bombed them 70 years ago, or the undeclared Vietnam War to take any means necessary, but was bombing and gassing 400,000 civilians really necessary? Or was that too long ago for you to remember? I find that hard to believe because you are a repeat offender. Have you forgotten about the natives whose lives you plundered, or the slaves whose freedom and rights you denied? So no, I came to this country through legal means, which is more than I can say about your ancestors. Ironic how you deem me an alien, but your predecessors alienated themselves from their country for the sake of God, gold, and glory. So no, I won't make your nails look nice. Your desperation to maintain supremacy can't keep you still anyway. And no, I don't only eat rice. We blend the richest of flavors in our land, something your unseasoned tongue can't understand. Thank you.
Make some noise one more time for Fiona. Alicia, do you have some feedback?
I like how you used your nerves to just like ignite this fire, and you just kept it going the entire piece. Like, I'm gonna give you all of this, and y'all gonna get this, and y'all gonna get this fire, like real quick, right quick, while I get up here. So I really enjoyed it. You had so many lines back to back, but it was like, I think for me, what my favorite part of the piece was your conviction behind everything you were saying. So great job.
Black Cancer.
She really did have so many lines. Shout outs to you for that. You started off lit too, like for real. Your projection was great. You took us on a history trip. I like that. Good conviction and enunciation. That right hand, that be moving. That just be going. Like you talk with your right hand, I see. And I love the flow. And it had a little yellow rage to it, so I can't knock that at all. Good job.
Thank you. Kevin.
Yo, I was thinking, this is like Listen Up Asshole 2.0. It's like, yo, it's funny because when you come to the mic, and when a lot of poets come to the mic, you kind of have this preconceived notion of what you're going to hear. But then you brought heat, and we were like, yo, really good piece, really good piece. And I like the delivery. I like the fact that, like Alicia said, you saw the nervousness, but you didn't succumb to the nervousness. You were like, all right, I'm just going to own this. I'm in this. I'm going to ride, and you're going to hear all this. Take this, take this, take this.
Thank
Good
you.
piece.
And Elizabeth.
I loved everything about it. You did a great job.
Thanks.
Thank you, judges. Please show your love one more time for Fiona. So now we're coming to our last poet. Please give it up for all our poets who performed in the first round of the second audition show of season 4 of Drop the Mic. Our final poet blessing the mic this afternoon for the first round is Ebo. Please make some noise for Ebo.
With vocab from the nomads, I changed the etiquette for the betterment. Hesitant, cause what if my power schemes never stick? That top tier stops here, cause if I square my share, There is not a block here that can level with. I'm moving a ravine with a flow they've never seen. Matter of fact, I'm Ravine, a magician with a show they've never seen. I could disappear. Banana, tangerine. F who you root for, they apple bottoms. I'm at the top with mezzanines. Think I'm hot, you sweat a stream and sit you rappers along the rafters. Can't be on the same page when we in two totally different chapters. Can't be in the same sex, you get killed the morning after. Better resort to plan B, trying to thwart this man. See, emotions get poured out of a gourd, a canteen with pain that I leave behind bars like Francine. And the chances that you have of survival are about as believable as Jesus' revival. I'm G-O-D on arrival, flow as deep as the Nile. Still can't conceive how I'm married from the Bible, steep in denial. More like sheep when sleep trying to leap over the Eiffel. Take a reach for the title, can't swim? Then flows start coming in waves, hundreds of ways. You wouldn't find an array this broad in the Mummers Parade. I drop jewels in depth, you digging me? Man, you better off trying to rummage for slaves. I'm an AT alien with antics, as smooth as a praying mantis, semantics, and you barely have punches to trade, so why be afraid?
Make some noise one more time for Ebo. Black Cancer, do you have some feedback?
Several lines, good rhyme scheme, and good rhyme scheme and stanza as far as like rap bars. You get what I'm saying when it comes to that. You kept going. That's crazy. Nice recovery by going back in your head for a quick second. Then you just, it was flawless. So good job when it comes to your performance, man.
Thank you. Kevin.
Rakim had a line that said, I get a welcome mat wherever I'm at. And it seems like every stage you take, you just kind of own that stage. I like the pauses. I like the alliterations, everything that's going on with that, man. You seem really comfortable and really nice piece. Real nice piece, man.
Thank you. Elizabeth.
I appreciated the biblical references, and just in general, your confidence on stage was awesome.
Thank you. And Alicia.
Are you going to stick around this time?
Yes. Emergency had emergency.
Okay, you so dope. I like I love to listen to you perform, because outside of just what you're saying, you always have your gestures that matches, as well as bringing your energy to the stage. And I think you super dope. Your lyrics are crazy. Good job.
Thank you, judges. Please make some noise one more time for Ebo. And please give it up for all of our poets who performed in the first round of the second audition show of season 4 of Drop the Mic.